Near mint condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome. That, as they say, is that. Marvel Comics. Let's go ahead and get started.
Jason Aaron ends his run on Avengers with this big event called Avengers Forever. I am the Uncanny Omar, and welcome to Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And today, join me for my advanced look at the Avengers Forever by Jason Aaron Omnibus. Now, where's that new theme music? And welcome back, everybody. Before going any further, a big thank you to David Gabriel and the fine folks at Marvel for sending us an advanced copy of this omnibus. This omnibus is due out in the direct market and book market on April 8th or 9th, depending on where you get your books. And what we're looking at here is this wraparound cover that is done by Aaron Kuder. On the left-hand side is your direct market cover, and that one is supplied by Phil Jimenez. Now, everything underneath the dust jacket is the same. So, let's take a closer look at this. You have Avengers Forever, Jason Aaron, Javier Garon, Aaron Kuder, Jim Toe, and Kev Walker taking the top billing. And here are some classic Avengers you might recognize. And again, this wraparound cover with some other newer type of Avengers like Nighthawk, who recently joined in the, I think it was the Heroes Reborn storyline, and then the retail price $100. I'm sure people are wondering, where does this belong in the reading order of Avengers in omnibus format? Well, here it is, right after the Jonathan Hickman run, believe it or not. That's right. We haven't had an Avengers omnibus in between them. We've had oversized hardcovers, but not omnis. Now, of course, it's an event omnibus, so you could put it wherever you wanted to in alphabetical order. Now, where does it fit into the reading order of Jason Aaron's Avengers? Now, that's a little bit different in oversized format. So here you have it in oversized format. You've got oversized hardcovers, and you've got omnis, event omnis, rather, in between there. Now, of course, keep in mind, this is just Jason Aaron's era of Avengers. And I am going to do an official Avengers reading order, since the patrons voted for that, here in the upcoming months. So keep an eye on the channel for the next reading order, which will be Avengers. But this is kind of like a mini little reading order. You've got the Al Ewing stuff, like New Avengers, and then US Avengers before this. And then after this, Avengers Forever Omnibus will become the Jed MacKay era of Avengers. But this kind of gives you an idea as to what the reading order is of Avengers by Jason Aaron. Now that we've talked about the reading order of where it fits in, let's look underneath the dust jacket. But first, let's look at the flaps here. The fight to the finish for the fate of Forever. Little blurb here on the left, and then a bio on the creators here on the right-hand side. And this wraparound image, it's this amazing art on board featuring not just the classic Avengers, our Avengers, but also these older Avengers that you may have seen in the pages of Jason Aaron's run. And of course, who are these guys here on the left-hand side? Well, I'll be talking about those here in a second. So let's go ahead and crack this book open and talk about the stories collected in here, what's collected in here, look at all the extras, look at the mapping of this event, and of course the build of the book. All right, so here we have Avengers Forever, not to be confused with Kurt Busiek's and Carlos Pacheco's Avengers Forever, just like Heroes Reborn. Not to be confused with the original Heroes Reborn era. Here's your title page. This is the tail end of Jason Aaron's Avengers, which has been collected before. And actually, a couple of trade paperbacks, and then the Avengers Assemble trade paperback by Jason Aaron. Now, this book here is brought to you by Jason Aaron as the writer, but also Aaron Cooter and Jim Toe as the main pencilers. The Infinity comic, which is collected in here for the first time, is done by Kev Walker, Javier Garon, wrapping up the Avengers run, and then you have a variety of different artists working on the Assemble Omega, while Assemble Alpha is done by Brian Hitch. So, collected in here is Avengers Forever 1 through 15, Avengers Forever in the Infinity comic 1 through 4, Avengers Assemble Alpha number 1, Avengers 63 to 66, Avengers Assemble Omega number 1. The book has 592 pages and retails for $100. So let's go back here because spoilers for some of Jason Aaron's, mainly, let's play it safe. And if you haven't read anything about Jason Aaron's Avengers era, perhaps this will spoil some things because he has been setting up a lot of the things that are happening through here in his previous issues. So, we are talking about a multiverse type of story. So, it begins in Earth 616 in the previous issues, and then it goes into this new Earth 818. And that's when it becomes really interesting because if you have been not reading Avengers, you might be a little bit confused when you start reading this because these people may be familiar to you, but you don't really recognize them. So we start off with this old man that's dying that you find out is Odin, and he finds out everything that he's given, like that he has given to become this savior of this Earth 818, that even his own son dying, and Mjolnir becomes this hammer. Whosoever holds this hammer, if they be worthy, shall possess the power of all vengeance. So it's not the power of Thor, but all vengeance. So that was in the past of Earth 818. And then we are introduced to a new Ant-Man. And again, some spoilers for some of the setup here. This is his first appearance. And even though it's his first appearance, it reads like you're supposed to know who this character is. So this is Earth 818's Tony Stark. And he is Ant-Man, and he has a robotic ant called Shellhead. And you find out that he's got like all these weapons, including perhaps the head of a Celestial that he calls the Nowhere Gun. And he's taken down these creatures that are after him, which we'll see in a little bit. And he comes across this hammer, the hammer that we saw earlier. And he's able to lift it for a little bit before it's able to take him down. So what is after him are these groups of war machines. So in this Earth, they're being ruled by the Wasteland Master. And we'll find out who the Waste Lord is here in a little bit. And I'll explain, I promise I'll explain a lot of things. It's a little confusing if you haven't read it because you're kind of thrown into the middle of a story that's been ongoing, but also it kind of works as a Age of Apocalypse type of story where you just can read it as a standalone story because I love stories like this. So the War Machines are fighting outside with Deathlock and Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. So that is our Avengers Ghost Rider from the 616 universe. And how they got here happened in previous runs. And it is explained through here how they ended up coming to the Earth 818. Because they are looking for somebody. They're looking to assemble a team. And they keep mentioning, along with a few other people later on, someone known as the Avenger Prime, which we will see a little bit later. As you get towards the ending of this, you find out that who the Waste Lord is the Black Skull. And the Black Skull has been around since the Free Comic Book Day. Oh my gosh, Free Comic Book Day, like 2020, 2021? And I'll talk a little bit about the multiversal Masters of Evil in a little bit. But first we see Earth 818's versions of Avengers. Like we have Vision, we've got the Infinity thing, we've got Moon Knight, and we've got Wonder Man, and of course Ant-Man. So what ends up happening here is that towards the end, we see Thor's, oh my gosh, this is so cool, tying it back to not just his Avengers run, but also his Thor run. We see the return of Thor's granddaughters, the Goddesses of Thunder from Jason Aaron's run. So we have a T, and a Zilliv, and Frigg. And what they're doing is they're following, well, actually, they are tied to this hammer, Mjolnir, and Grandfather's hammer knows the way. They are going to a place that needs their help. So I'm just going to kind of give you the pitch. Like, eventually, the Black Skull ends up capturing Robbie Reyes and torturing him. And I really like not the torture aspect, but just how strong of a character Robbie Reyes is. Because to me, Danny Ketch will always be my Ghost Rider, but Robbie really shows his worth here. Robbie really is able to make you believe, okay, he is worthy of being a Ghost Rider. Kind of the way that Kyle Rayner did in a few issues of JLA, proving his worth to his teammates. But he's got no one here to prove it to besides Deathlock, this time-traveling Terminator. So the 818 characters go in and rescue them. As you find out, there is a return, I guess, of the multiversal Masters of Evil. They are the ones that are behind destroying all the different multiverses because they want to rule everything and rebuild it in their image. So that's what you find out. In here, you're going to find characters, again, like the Black Skull. You're going to find the character of the Doom above all. You're going to find the Ghost Goblin. You're going to find the Dark Phoenix, the Berserker, Kid Thanos, and the what was his name? King Killmonger. And each of these issues kind of let you know a little bit about them and how they came to be. Like this issue focuses on the Doom above all when they're fighting a bunch of man-things at the beginning. Here is that team I was talking about, the multiversal Masters of Evil. And they're fighting on this Earth 91, that's a planet of man-things. And what ends up happening and how ruthless a lot of these characters are. This is really cool. I love the mapping of this book. By the way, I meant to say that earlier, but dang it, I forgot to say that before spoilers. But the mapping of this book is perfect. The Avengers Forever Infinity comics are in the proper place where you find a little bit about all these characters that did or did not make it that you'll see later on in this big multiverse Avengers assembled team that we'll have towards the very end. So they're perfectly placed right here before the next important issue, showcasing some of the characters that you'll see a little bit later and some why they didn't make it. So in each issue, you'll find out a little bit more about the multiversal Masters of Evil. For example, this one here, focusing on the character of King Killmonger. And also the character of the Star Black Panther, who's like a Superman version of Black Panther. And throughout this, you'll see that Robbie Reyes and Deathlock are kind of assembling this team along with Peggy Carter and a couple of other characters. We still haven't seen our Earth 616 characters. This issue is freaking brilliant. It is about the different Steve Rogers and how alike they are and how much, at first they're so humble and don't think highly of themselves, but they learn to combat, and you'll see who is behind that a little bit later. This is another issue that took me by surprise. I thought it was going to go one way where Thor doesn't believe in himself. He's like physically fighting this hammer, like throwing fists at Mjolnir, and he is approached by Lei Kun, the Thunder Guardian. And so you think, oh, this Thunder Guardian is going to take him somewhere where he's going to train him to be the God of Thunder again, and he's going to mix aspects of the Iron Fist with Asgard. Not where it was going. It went in ways I didn't think it was like. I didn't see it coming, is all I will say. You have Carol Danvers here, and you'll see the Carol Danvers Corp. You'll see why Iron Man is such an important pillar. So these characters that they are collecting from across the different multiverses are called pillars. They're very important to the cause and why they're being drafted to this team. And you'll see a huge fight. So all of it leading into this big fight between the Avengers Forever team and then the Masters of Evil. And yes, you will see exactly how important of a role these characters have. So again, it's Jason Aaron building up his team from the beginning of his Avengers run. You'll see aspects of like things from Avengers number 30 that are being wrapped up through here. And oh man, it gets so good. Finally, an Avengers Assemble Alpha, about halfway through the book, so worry not. Again, mapped beautifully, is where you're going to see the Avengers from the 616 universe fighting the prehistoric Avengers. The prehistoric Avengers were previously introduced in the pages of, again, Jason Aaron's Avengers. There is one character missing, and I don't want to give away who that is. And I have been talking about Avenger Prime. Avenger Prime is revealed through here, and you finally get to see who it is. And then it's revealed who Avenger Prime has been. And it was a moment that I didn't see coming, and I'm like, oh, Of course, Avenger Prime is that character, and it makes sense. So we do see the return of none other than Mephisto, but this time around because the Avengers have built a Avengers team that is crossing the multiverse, so has Mephisto. So not only do the Avengers and Avengers Forever characters have to deal with the multiversal Masters of Evil, and especially Doom. Oh my gosh, Doom is ruthless, man. Doom Supreme. That guy, he kicks all kinds of ass. But they also have to deal with the multiversal Mephistos, and it is a huge out battle between all of these different dimension-hopping Avengers, the Goddesses of Thunder, and of course R616 classic Avengers. And the way that this is mapped is perfect. You'll go from reading Avengers, you'll go back to Avengers Forever, and then you'll go to Avengers Assemble. And it all comes to a big finale here with Avengers Assemble Forever, which is what they use for the cover here, for the standard edition cover. And this is where it ends. And I think that's all I will say about it. Beautiful artwork, and if you've been enjoying Jason Aaron's Avengers, then look forward to that ending. And I actually love the very last page, because that gives you that. That's why I read these kind of stories, for the hope, right? In the back, you are going to find the variant covers. Sometimes the variant covers are on the opposite page of the standard edition covers. That is beautiful. Wow. And this is the one that they use for the direct market, the Phil Jimenez cover. And then, of course, the next place, actually, Avengers Assemble Omega kind of leaves, this is so cool. This is a who's who of that Avengers Forever cover. Even some New Warriors make it. And character designs here, or different characters from across the multiverse. And then Jason Aaron's afterword and the end sheets. Oh, I was saying something. What the hell was I saying? Oh, yes. Avengers Assemble Omega leaves Jen McKay some things to run with. Like, I thought that was really cool. It's not like leaving him hanging, like, we're getting rid of all these characters, but leaving him enough things to kind of do his own thing, which he has been. And that run on Avengers by McKay is killer. All right, let's look at the build. 592 pages. Didn't need to be that big of an eye, but it is, which helps out when you are looking at some of the spread pages here. Like right here, towards the very beginning, there's very minimal gutter loss. And this one is printed at the Donley printer. I want to show what... shoot. Let me find... There we go. Perfect. Minimal bleed through happening here. So I did want to point that out. And of course, what it looks like... actually... towards the back, the way that it lays over. You can see the gutter right there. But that is it. That, as they say, is that. If you're interested in purchasing this omnibus, don't forget to check out our sponsors. BD Cosmos, the Canadian leader in graphic novels. They have a physical storefront in Montreal, Quebec, and their website, bdcosmos.com, offers 25% off your order of over $99 or more, and free shipping everywhere in Canada for every order of $250 or more.
Their shipping care is exceptional. Your books will stay cozy through the rough Canadian weather and arrive to you in near mint condition.
After checkout, let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way, and you'll be added to the monthly $25 gift card raffle. Entries are valid for new and returning customers.
Don't be afraid to call or email them. Ask them questions. Their staff is always happy to help guide you towards the right purchase. Visit their website, bdcosmos.com, for more. BD Cosmos, with rewards and raffles taking care of customers in Canada. Eh?
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the content, the page count, and build of this omnibus. In the comments down below, let me know if you are picking this up, if you're a big fan of Jason Aaron and you have to have everything Jason Aaron does, and of course, what you thought of this run. Did it end on a whimper? Did you enjoy the ending? And what did you think about his Avengers run overall? If you have any questions, leave them down below. Also, what cover you're getting if you are picking this up. And of course, what other era of Avengers you would like to see in omnibus format. One day, Uncle Raj will get his due. But until then, everyone, stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.